Palestinian civilians in Gaza openly protest Hamas rule, Congressional Democrats make some interesting PR decisions, and President Trump prepares to freeze federal funding for Planned Parenthood. I'm Tony Kinnett from the Daily Signal's Tony Kinnett Cast, syndicated nationally at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is Wednesday, March 26th, 2025. This is the Daily Signal's top news in 10. Palestinian protests against Hamas and Qatar erupted for the first time yesterday outside the Indonesian hospital in Beit Lahia in northern Gaza. Thousands of people flooded the streets chanting, "Yes to peace, no to Hamas' tyrannical rule, enough of the war, enough of the destruction of Gaza." White flags were flown at another site in Gaza during the protests. The protesters also called out, "Where is the press?" One of the photographers on scene noted that the Al Jazeera reporters, including Anas al-Sharif, entered the Indonesian hospital building to avoid filming the demonstration and protesters. Vice President J.D. Vance announced yesterday that he would be traveling with his wife Usha to visit Greenland, with an intent to visit U.S. troops in the region.
Hey guys, it's J.D. Vance, the Vice President, and there was so much excitement around Usha's visit to Greenland this Friday that I decided that I didn't want her to have all that fun by herself, and so I'm going to join her. I'm going to visit some of our guardians in the Space Force on the northwest coast of Greenland and also just check out what's going on with the security there of Greenland. As you know, it's really important. A lot of other countries have threatened Greenland, have threatened to use its territories and its waterways to threaten the United States, to threaten Canada, and of course to threaten the people of Greenland. So we're going to check out how things are going there. And I say that speaking for President Trump, we want to reinvigorate the security of the people of Greenland because we think it's important to protecting the security of the entire world. Unfortunately, leaders in both America and in Denmark, I think, ignored Greenland for far too long. That's been bad for Greenland. It's also been bad for the security of the entire world. We think we can take things in a different direction, so I'm going to go check it out.
Greenland's premier, Mutje B. Igad, slammed the planned U.S. visit as a very aggressive display of American pressure. The Danish Prime Minister, Mette Frederiksen, released a video statement criticizing the American visits, saying the American visits cannot be seen independently. If the statements and the reports we have heard from the American side are correct, starting in January and continuing until now, so it is indeed a clear visit that addresses what Greenland has a use for, what Greenland wants of visits from outside now. And therefore, I also must say that it is an unacceptable pressure that is being placed both on Greenland and Denmark in this situation, and it is also a pressure that we will stand against. Recent elections in Greenland showed both the pro-Greenland independence factions and the pro-American factions gain seats. On the congressional side of news, Senate Democrats made a scheduled intelligence hearing yesterday all about the Atlantic editor-in-chief Jeffrey Goldberg's allegations concerning the contents of a private group chat with top Trump officials. Goldberg and top Democrats made allegations that the group chat shared highly sensitive, highly classified war plans. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard contested the allegation that classified material was shared.
Senator, I have the same answer. I have not participated in any Signal group chat or any other chat on another app that contained any classified information.
Contact the defense secretary or others after this specific military planning was put out and say, hey, we should be doing this in a skiff?
There was no classified material that was shared in that.
So then
Signal
if there were no
chat.
classified...
Democrat officials and pundits on both sides of the aisle criticized the use of Signal, an encrypted messaging application, by individuals in the Trump administration at all, when Democrat Senator Wyden of Oregon falsely alleged that this violated federal standards. CIA Director John Radcliffe updated the senator on the administration procedures.
So that we're clear, one of the first things that happened when I was confirmed as CIA director was Signal was loaded onto my computer at the CIA, as it is for most CIA officers. One of the things that I was briefed on very early, Senator, was by the CIA records management folks about the use of Signal as a permissible work use. It is. That is a practice that preceded the current administration to the Biden administration.
The questions from senators weren't just about the Signal, Hegseth, Mike Waltz situation. There were also questions about stories that have been openly discredited, like the rumor that Elon Musk was going to be given access to the secret war plan from the United States with China.
Question I have for you, Director Gabbard, involves this question of Elon Musk wasn't going to see the military's China war plans because he said he, quote, has business in China and he would be susceptible perhaps to that. That was his comment. So as DNI, you're responsible for security clearance policies across the government. Under your watch, how are you going to go about carrying out this obligation? Because I think it obviously is a very significant one in terms of American national security.
Thank you, Senator. As you know, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence provides oversight over these different 18 intelligence elements. Leaders within those elements are empowered with that responsibility to uphold the trust that the American people have placed in them. In this example that you cited, both Secretary Hegseth as well as President Trump completely denied the assertion that Elon Musk was going to receive any kind of classified war plan brief pertaining to China or any other country.
So on the question of whether the president has the prerogative to get clearances is really the area that I want to touch on, because you're formally responsible for security clearance policies, and that's why I'm asking about it. So can a president decide who gets the clearance?
Yes.
So what about your role? You're formally responsible for security clearance policies.
That is also true.
So how do we resolve it? The president just gets his way.
The elected president and commander-in-chief has the authority to provide a security clearance to those who he deems necessary.
That wasn't the most notable moment in the hearing. Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois complained about the use of the word wrongthink, criticizing Molly Hemingway and the Federalist and how they covered the January 6th protests and riot.
To characterize that event of January 6th as, quote, the riot used to launch the war on wrongthink. What in the hell is wrongthink? I can't keep up with all these words that are coming at us as brand new terms, and I hope it doesn't hide the fact that 140 policemen and women were here defending this Capitol.
As many high school seniors can tell you, wrongthink is a term coined by George Orwell in his book 1984, in which Orwell criticized an authoritarian government mandating opinion uniformity and forbidding criticism of any kind despite available evidence. And Democrat Representative Jasmine Crockett of Dallas derogatively described Governor Greg Abbott of Texas, who uses a wheelchair because of a paralyzing accident, as Hot Wheels, from the podium of the Human Rights Campaign yesterday.
Because we in these hot-ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot-ass mess, honey. So yes.
Later, Crockett attempted to deny that the term was used to make fun of his disability, claiming, quote, I was thinking about the planes, trains, and automobiles he used to transfer migrants into communities led by black mayors. The Washington Free Beacon pointed out, however, that Crockett had liked tweets openly mocking Governor Abbott as Hot Wheels in posts dating back to 2021, undercutting this planes, trains, and automobiles excuse. Last but not least, President Trump is preparing to freeze $120 million in grant funding to the abortion provider Planned Parenthood, and suggested that his administration would investigate the company for selling the harvested organs of the babies that they have facilitated the murder of.
I just want to follow up on that. If Planned Parenthood is defunded, would you look into the harvesting of baby organs that they've done throughout the years and maybe go after some criminal prosecution on that?
Well, I think you're talking about a subject that is a heated subject, and we'll look into it. We're going to look into everything, but that's certainly a subject that's been debated for a long time and we will look into it, yeah.
Mr. President.
While Planned Parenthood claims they offer life-saving care for women outside of abortion and suggested that the $120 million wasn't to be used exclusively for abortion, many were quick to point out that having expenses like rent, maintenance, and staffing taken care of means that any organization would be free to pay separate monies for certain services. Before you go, check the description to make sure you're subscribed to the Tony Kinnett Cast, live every weeknight at 7 p.m. Eastern. Why subscribe? Well, because it helps us sail past the other daily news shows, and it really, really upsets the progressive millennial podcasters. I'm Tony Kinnett, and this has been the Daily Signal's Top News in 10. Take care.